I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions, and this is your bullish bit brought to you by bitcoinwell.com, the simplest and quickest way to buy Bitcoin in the US or Canada and get it directly into your own self-custody. Check them out today at the links down below.
Bitcoin is the first thing in human history that is the demand goes up, the supply doesn't change. And in a free market, where you have demand go up and there's not enough supply, the market will bid up whatever it is that the market wants. They'll end up paying more for it. As that happens, the economic incentive increases for entrepreneurs and capital to move into that sector of the marketplace and meet that demand with supply, making whatever it is abundant, driving the value down. Unless you could build a regulatory moat around some sector in the marketplace. And a good example would be like insulin. There's two companies that have the patent to insulin. If they allowed for like the free production of insulin, if they made it a process where like you could go to your local municipality, say, I got a kitchen where I can produce clean insulin. I need a license from the state of California. And if everybody had access to the ability to produce insulin as an entrepreneur or business owner, what would happen is insulin would become very abundant and it would drop the price. And so I'm sure Axel has similar versions of the same problem where you have to move. It's hard to pivot in your business to find that profitability. And so for me, as a great example, 10 years ago, medical marijuana in the state of California, bulk wholesale cannabis that would be sold from a producer to a dispensary was like $3 to $4 grand a pound. Today, a better pound is $1,000. But in that last 3 years, my cost of living / operating has doubled, really tripled. So on the conservative end, I make 1/6 what I used to 10 years ago. On the more aggressive end of doing that math, I make 1/12 to 1/15. And so in the fiat world where we have a debt-based monetary system where the monetary units are lent into existence as debt against assets, it requires the value denominated in that currency of everything to go up. But we fundamentally live in a free market where supply is always meeting demand. And the small business owner, and we could even use MicroStrategy since you brought him up. And so Jeff Booth and Michael Saylor really helped me to understand the forces that I was intuitively knew were causing my life to become way harder. It's like in the famous words of Saylor, the road to serfdom is working exponentially harder for a currency growing exponentially weaker. And so you have two opposing forces. I got dollar denominated wage deflation, where I have dollar denominated cost of living inflation. So I actually have an extreme version of what like people on minimum wage have, where you go from $20 to $22 an hour. You get a 10% increase in your wages, but the real monetary expansion and the cost of living is going up at 15 or 20%, for example. So that's real world wage deflation, even though you have the optical illusion of getting paid more.